Hi, Trapper Dan here, and I'd like to take a few minutes and talk about a couple of knives that I've been field testing for William Collins for the past couple months, and that is the WC Knives Master Skinner and the WC Knives Junior Skinner. And I'm going to start off with, I really like these knives. My main use for them has been skinning beaver-sized game. As many people know, I'm a trapper and mostly a water trapper and a camper. And that's my main use when I was testing these knives. Let's start off with the Master Skinner. Okay, as you can see, it's probably just over a 5-inch blade. Start off with the handle here. William puts really nice thick handles that fill the hand when you're using them, and I believe that leads to less hand fatigue. All his knives are full tane, of course. This one is an AEBL, and it's got a nice 90-degree spine. And as the name implies, it's a skinning knife. Okay, so its main use is going to be skinning, but William puts in what he calls the woodsman's grind on here, and basically it's this scandy curved portion. So it adds a little bit more versatility to the knife than just your average skinning knife. It's very good for doing woodsman tasks such as carving notches, making feather sticks, carving sticks and stakes for the trap line. As you can see here, the other things that separate this knife from a lot of other skinning knives is it's got this very coarse jimping right here, and that helps with when you choke up on the blade. Gives you a little bit more control, gives you a spot to put your finger so that when you're skinning an animal, you know exactly where the blade is because that's where the tip of your finger's at. And then the other thing that he's added here is this fuller and this texturing. And this texturing is, I believe, laser etched, and it feels it's rough like a file. All right, and with the combination of the fuller, being the dip in the blade, and this texturing, it gives a nice spot for your thumb to sit, and it just kind of encapsulates your thumb and gives you a better grip when you're choking up on the blade with your skinning tasks. Okay, and the other thing I like about this is with the woodsman's grind and this little tooth here, very effective at cutting through ligaments and tendons when you're going around the legs of beaver and other animals. Okay, now in comparison, we have the Junior Skinner, and just so you can see, it's a little bit thinner than the Master Skinner, okay, and the handle is a little bit thinner as well. And I have to say, this is my wheelhouse right here. The game that I'm skinning is 50-pound beavers and smaller, and I believe this just gives you a lot of good control. Okay, it's got the coarse jimping right here next to the handle for your thumb, as well as when you put your finger there. So again, you know exactly where you're cutting because that's where your finger's at. Okay, obviously a large belly for skinning, and then again, it's a versatile blade because it has the woodsman's grind, and you can cut stakes for the trap line on the fly. You can do notches and feather sticks, and it's more than just a skinning knife, but its primary purpose is for skinning and meat processing. Let's talk about the ease of resharpening these knives. I think now I'm not an expert knife sharpener freehand by any means, and I can tell, like people look at Williams knives sometimes and they're a little intimidated by this curve and they're wondering, how easy it is to resharpen. But let me tell you, it's not hard at all because it's a Scandi blade, and you really can just put that Scandi up. It's a 12.5 degree angle all throughout the blade. You just lay that blade on that Scandi on your sharpening rod or stone, and you just follow that angle all the way through. So it's super easy to maintain the edge on these blades. And I know a lot of people say, well, 12.5 degrees is not, normally they're used to like a 15 or a 20 degree angle, but that edge, really makes slicing and skinning a lot easier. What do I really like about these knives? Well, they cut better than any commercially available skinning knife that I've ever used. The handle fills your hand, so it leads to less hand fatigue. The added feature of this fuller and the etching gives you more control when you grip it by the blade. And they're just more versatile than any other skinning knife that I've ever used, with the added of this Scandi Woodsman's grind. So, if this is the knife that I'm carrying, I know that it can not only handle the skinning tasks, but I can also do the basic woodsman tasks with it as well. If I had to pick something that I would change about this knife, it would probably be, I would add the etching for the full length of the fuller, because I found out in testing it that just the way that I'm a right-handed user, so the way that I grip the knife, my thumb just likes to creep up on this part that doesn't have the etching. And if I was going to pick one thing that I would say needed to be changed, it would be put some more etching right here. And with this, the combination with this fuller, it just, and your thumb presses down into it, and it leads to a more better contact surface for a better grip. With the junior skinner, I don't know if there's anything that I would say that I would change about this knife. To me, I think this is just a really great knife, especially for what I'm using for, which, like I said, is beaver. If I was going to be nitpicky, maybe it would be just the Kydex sheaths. But William is a knife maker. He's not a sheath maker. So, and the Kydex does have its advantage when you're putting away a greasy, bloody knife. They're easy to clean out. So which one, do I prefer? Well, I think I prefer the junior skinner. It's just better for my use. I'm doing beaver size game, once again, about 50 pounds and under. And I just feel like I'm used to smaller knives. I got a little bit smaller hands. And that just is like a really good beaver skinning knife, in my opinion. If you're doing, whitetail and up, maybe you're skinning hogs and bear, like Meat Trapper and Pano are doing. They're also testing those knives. Then, you might be better off using a master skinner. If you are, doing a lot of meat processing, or you're the designated camp cook, and you need a good meat processing and cooking knife, or chef's knife, I should say, then I would say go with the Master Skinner. And once again, they're very versatile. You got the 90-degree spine for the ferro rod, but you can also skin vegetables with this sharp 90-degree spine. And with the Master Skinner, it's got a little bit more real estate where you're able to do that than the Junior Skinner. So the Junior Skinner is definitely my favorite. And now, winning combination would be the Junior Skinner and this Master Trapper, which I've also tested for William. And Master Trapper is great for your opening cuts and your detailed work, getting in with the legs, ring around the legs, and doing more of that fine detail work. And then when you're taking off the majority of the hide and the fur, I'd switch to more of a rounded blade with this sweep that the Junior Skinner provides. And to me, this is really, really a great combination for skinning beaver. But I like all three. So if you're on the fence about which one you should get, just get them both and try them out for yourself. So if you're a trapper or hunter and you are looking for a great pair of skinning knives that skin and cut well, but also do other woodsman tasks, then you need to check out WC Knives Master Skinner and Junior Skinner. And I think these are a great pair of knives that you can add to your collection for those tasks. And I'd just like to say thank you to William it's been an honor to be able to test these knives and use them for the past couple of months. So thank you. And if you have any questions or comments, just leave them in the comment section below. Have a great day.